Today I'm going to show you how to make the classic Danish Christmas dessert, Risalamande. It's a rice pudding with whipped cream, almonds, and served with a sweet cherry sauce. It's really good. Hi, I'm Sune, and I'm a food geek. Today I'm going to show you how to make Risalamande, which is the classic dessert that's served with Christmas dinner at a Danish Christmas celebration. In the 1800s, it had been tradition of serving rice porridge, risengrød, to your guests in the wealthier households. The rice and the cinnamon were expensive imports, so it was really only available to people who had more of a disposable income. Around the turn of the century, rice and cinnamon were much more acceptable in price, so serving risengrød at Christmas had become commonplace. Which of course meant that the wealthy citizens had to take it to the next level. So the rice porridge would be mixed with whipped cream, filled with expensive almonds, and served with a sweet cherry sauce. I'd call this a rice pudding, and here we're back to British English versus American English. The porridge that goes inside this dessert is called rice pudding in the UK, but to me a pudding is a dessert, whereas a porridge is something that you eat as a main dish. Oh well. Don't get me started on biscuits. If you're new to this channel, I bake a lot of sourdough bread and I make delicious food from all over the world. If you want to see more of this content, please join me by subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss any future videos. So we have a tradition called mandelgave. We put a whole almond in the dessert and the person who finds it gets the almond present. The traditional present is a pig made from marzipan, but since there are so many snacks on Christmas, it's become more common to find something else. My mom will often buy a book of funny stories or something like that. The tradition itself is meant to be influenced by the French tradition to hide a bean in the cakes that are eaten on Epiphany. The person who gets the bean gets to be king for the night, whatever that entails. During rationing throughout and after the Second World War, the Risalamande became the preferred Christmas dessert. The housewives learned that you could stretch the rice porridge further by adding whipped cream. Because almonds were almost impossible to get, they'd add a button in place of an almond, so there'd still be a competition for the present. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a member at Patreon. You can also buy some merch, or use the links in the description for tools and ingredients. Those were the words. This is the recipe. There's a link in the description for the recipe on my website. First, you should make a portion of rice porridge that you put in your fridge and let it cool completely. The link for this recipe is in the card above. Then it's time to make the cherry sauce. To a pot, add 500 grams or 4 cups of sweet cherries, a half a deciliter or 1/5 of a cup of kirsch. This is optional. 1 tablespoon of amaretto. This is also optional. 120 grams or half a cup of sugar. The juice of a lemon. The juice of an orange. A vanilla pod split in half. The zest of the orange and the lemon in slices. They're easy to pick out this way. Bring it to the boil. Then let it simmer for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes are done, turn down the heat to almost 0. Fish out the vanilla pod and the zest. Then dissolve 1 tablespoon of cornstarch in some water. Add it to the sauce. It's very important that it isn't boiling. Then stir gently to distribute the cornstarch. Bring it to the boil and let it simmer for 2 to 3 minutes more. Then pour the sauce into a scalded jar and seal it while it's still warm. This will make the jar airtight. Then let it cool on the counter until it's handleable, and then put it in the fridge until you need it. There's so much sugar in this puppy that'll stay good for many months, maybe even a year in the fridge. But who are we kidding? It won't last that long. And then it's time to make some homemade vanilla sugar. Split 2 vanilla pods and scrape out the seeds into 2 tablespoons of sugar. Squeeze the seeds into the sugar until it's well distributed. Put the sugar in a small bowl and keep it until later. Then whip 500 milliliters or 2 cups of whipping cream to soft peaks. Put 1 portion of cooled rice porridge in a bowl. Add the vanilla sugar on top. Then add 1/3 of the cream into the porridge and mix to make it looser. Then add 100 grams of roughly chopped almonds. Then fold in as much cream as you like until it has the consistency that you prefer. Don't forget to add a whole almond for the present. Cover it and refrigerate it for at least an hour. Then eat rice pudding with cherry sauce. That is so good. While I finish my Risalamande, you can have a look at these gorgeous pictures. Please don't lick your screen. Wow, I am so looking forward to Christmas. The creamy pudding, the crunchy almonds, and the delicious red and sweet cherry sauce. It's a wonderful dessert. No wonder we eat it every year. I hope you learned something today. See you next time.